Good morning, traders. Welcome to Daily Webinar. For my YouTube viewers, thank you very much for your support last week. You've been great, and I think, I hope you enjoyed them. If you're watching this video for the first time and you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to my channel, watch all the video for last week. They're very, very informative. If you've never seen anything I do, you should watch at least those videos. They're going to help you quite a lot, right? Anyways, for those of you who have been in the course and who watch it, you should rewatch it a few times, because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of information you will get, or you will remember when you watch it back. Remember all the conversations we had before and after the recording. That might help you, to refresh your memory while you're watching the videos, because we discuss a lot of those after as well. If not, if you like this, please share it. It's going to be once a week again, and then maybe sometime in the future we'll repeat that process of 1 week free. So let's start. Today I'm going to go through everything. It's not going to be like I do it. We'll start recording these separate for my group during the day, 5 times a day as we normally do. So let's go. Let's start. By the way, this is the second session. My traders had a session before. You know how it works. So let's start. We're in the dollar index. As usual, this is going down. There's a very high probability we're starting that down move also. Remember what I was telling you, as soon as we break that top, you start to look for sell setups, because after that, downside is a high probability. We cannot confirm downside as yet, right? You just can't confirm downside because you got one pullback. That doesn't mean anything. It can continue to pull back, make a flat and go back up, or running flat or whatever. So we'll have to wait for a daily confirmation like that. That tells us downside. Can it be that they go back up to the top, make a flat and make one more high? Yeah, that's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's possible. So right now we're looking at the possibility that this is the start of the downside. As you can see, we were selling it all the time, and we look for sell setups. There is a running flat in the making. It's pretty short, small. It might not even be the full running flat, which means these might make another. If this makes another small flat here, we will sell this with the intention that somewhere in the future we're going to get that. For now, we'll assume that that's the running flat, but I don't think it's a running flat. There are many reasons for that. We're not going to discuss all of that here. So we're looking for sell setups. Any 1 hour flag you get, you'll sell. You just have to know where to put your stop so that it doesn't come back, tag you, and then go. And once you get in, you manage the trade. Silver. Silver, we were buying last week, and if you bought it, you close the trade. You're not keeping that trade over the weekend. You literally can see that. You close it. Would you re-enter the trade somewhere here? Well, there wasn't really a flag. And like I said, I still believe this is making a bigger flat to go now. Can we assume that this is it? Well, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. No, there's probably more to that. If you look at this as 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then there's probably one more up, one more down. That possibility exists. Any flag you get, you can buy. You just have to manage the trade, right? So I'll leave it like this for now, because we don't know exactly what this is doing. This could come down back somewhere. This could literally drop here and then go back up. It could make a flag here, and then we will buy. Which means any flag we get, we will buy in this. Gold, we had a sell setup. We'll take that off. It's no longer valid. You're making a bigger flat. You can literally see the running flat here. So you're getting a 1, you're getting a 2, you're getting a 3. We'll look for a sell setup from here going down for this one. And after which I think we'll be going up. Right? So a short-term sell setup today, that might happen to there tomorrow. And then after that, we're going up. If you're one of the people who take the installment program, you will get this update tomorrow. You'll get the update. So what should we do with it tomorrow? Right? So to all of those traders who sign up for that, you'll get that tomorrow. I think it's a very nice flat. I don't think this is going to go up totally. So keep your eyes on that. This is dropping slowly. We stopped selling it. We tried to sell it. It didn't go. We just stopped, wait until it breaks this low. And then we look for the buy setup. Euro. We have our buy entry there, but I think we're going to pull that buy entry because it's literally not going the way we expected. This, I don't think that's a running flat. We've got to move up. We pull back. We're getting some move up. We probably will pull back. We'll get another one. We'll pull back here, make a flat. Probably go back up, pull back, and somewhere in the future, we're going to have a running flat there. So I still think it's a running flat. It's still a buy setup, but buying it to the top here is not a good idea because of all this pullback. You literally want the flag. So you want this, let it come up because this could tag you and then come back down. We want a flag before we buy. If it drops lower, we would look for a buy setup. We're still looking for buy setups. Selling this is not a good idea here. Pound. Again, we have an entry above the top. You can leave that there, but you'll want to be careful with it because we're probably coming here. That should complete this flat. Go back up. You don't want this to tag you because then it's going to come back here and then go. We'll get a nice flat there. If we get that flat, we're taking the trade. We're looking for a buy setup. So you wanted to complete, you want to look for a buy from the bottom here going up. You can leave that there. If it tag, you keep a stop here, which means you know how to put your risk. You're not going to be taken out by that stop by any means. You close it way before it gets there. But you'll put that as the maximum you're willing to lose, right? So if you were with us last week again, for those who actually joined, you see what I'm telling you, right? You know how we manage our trades to get out. So this is still a buy, this is still a buy. I'm going to leave those, we'll close them when we do the next recording. If you kept this buy, great, you probably should have kept it. If you close it, you should put an entry above this top. If you close it, put an entry above that top. It's still a buy setup, right? This is going really slow. So at some point, I think we're going to have something like either a deeper pullback and then go, or it could drop totally. I don't think they're going to drop totally. We're literally going up very strong, right? We wouldn't look for any drop until we get to this stop, right? So now if it goes as sharp as it's going, we might break out of the structure. There's a good chance if it continues to go sharp up it's going, we're going to break out of the structure. So you still want to buy. If it starts to make bigger consolidation, that means we will be making a corrective structure up. We'll come back, retest the low, and then break out of the structure on the daily. This is going really slow. I wouldn't make any much about that because remember it was weekend. Market was slow this morning. Market was slow. That's okay. Just keep it above the top, a couple pips above the top. If you close it, if you kept it at break even, you shouldn't. You should have closed it. Take the few pips you have, take the few pips you have here, and then put the entry above the top. Right? By rule, just follow the rules, and we'll see where that goes. New Zealand became a buy. We didn't buy it because I wasn't too sure about this contracting flat, but it's going. So what you can do is wait for a little pullback. This is actually consolidating here for a couple hours. If it stays here, put an entry above the top. If it comes lower like this, better yet, we look for a buy from here. We will go with this as a running flat. I still don't like that contracting flat. So I'll be looking for a running flat possibility. Put an entry above the top. You'll have to manage it because they're going really, really slow. See, if it continues to do that, you don't want to be in it. You want it to pull back and then go. The momentum will pick up. So we'll put this as a buy too. Swiss. Probably it's about to finish this move. Get to that low. It's about to finish this. But let's wait for a flat. Let's wait for this to come back here, make a flat like this, and then drop. Right? You don't want to sell it to the bottom here. That doesn't make sense. There's no risk to reward. There's nothing to do with that trade. Let it go back up. Can we buy it to come back up? Pretty risky because it's going to be, this looks like a buy setup. But it might just do this and drop again and then do this drop, do this drop, do this drop. At the bottom here, you do something like that. You drop, finish the move, and then go. So forget about the buy. At least not as yet. When it makes the final drop and start to go up, then we look for the buy. Can we let it make a sharp move and then we look for the sell, the final sell and then the final and then the upside. CAD, if you're going, you will close. If you kept that one, if you put it to breaking, you kept it, you have to look through these small ones. And like I said, if it starts to make very small ones going down, you can move your stop and stay with it, or you can take out a profit. You would have closed that here, put the entry there, and the same thing would repeat itself here. So if you're going to trade this anywhere more down, wait for another flag like this and then put an entry. This one you should have closed. If you're keeping, you're only keeping that one because that has things to go. It's going to go very far. And if it keeps going on like that, you'll have to survive one or two pullback and then put it to break even. For now, any deeper correction would be a sell. Yen. It's still a sell. It's just that we're making a much bigger flat here now. And looks like it's going to be bigger than I thought because this is not breaking the low, and that negates the possibility of this being the running flat we're looking at. Which means this whole thing could end up being a really big flat somewhere here. Sometime, right? Because this is sharp, this is sharp. This is the only one that has a correction in. This should probably drop here, go back up, come back down, go back up. I don't know, come back down, go back up here, come back down in a 1, 2, 3, maybe go back up and then finish that structure. That's a possibility. If I'm wrong about that, then just put an entry for a sell. I think we can move this entry up to this level, trading that flag if it drops. If that flag drops, we'll take it, we'll put it to break even. I don't know that this is not, this is the running. What if this is the running flat? This is a drop, and this is just a big flat at the top to drop through the bottom. We've seen that, right? It's rare, but it exists. So keep this is the yen. Keep that entry order for the sell. We'll manage it. So I'll put this as a sell, not a sell in the making. We've got a sell set up there. Euro New Zealand. Yeah, if you took that sell, you did well. There's probably one more drop here. I'm not sure if you like it. It has to break this low. Well, it not has to, but it might break that low. But remember, this made 1, 2, let me use the yellow. 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, just like we expected. This could go one more. I could see them doing this before they go up. So if you're going to take this trade, just manage it with care, right? Because it could drop one more, but I don't think it's totally dropping through the bottom. That's a big flat at the top there, and that is likely going to go up. So one more drop, and then the upside. I'll leave it as a sell. Euro-CAD. Yep, if you took that one, you close it, put an entry order here. It's a good one. This is a really good one. Because if this starts to drop, we're coming back to this level. And if it starts to drop, and it could literally drop really fast, come back to this level. These two could be fast. We will go with this running flat, and then we will go back up for there, complete that one, and then we'll probably drop. That's an option. I still don't think this would be all the correction. So we might be here for a while, but I like the sell setup. That's a very good sell setup. Euro Swiss. It could drop one more. It didn't break this low. Did we break that low? Let's see. We tagged it, but we didn't actually break it. But I wouldn't be buying this until we literally break out of the structure. I mean, literally break out, make a flag, and then I'll just assume they're making a channel going down. You can ignore the sell. Why sell this? If you have the Euro-CAD and you have the Euro Swiss, you have money to risk, and you have to put it in one of them. I think it's pretty clear which one you're putting your money in, right? There's no question asked which one your money is going to go in. This would probably drop because we don't have any buy setup, but not a sell setup. Let it drop, let that finish what it's doing, and then we will look for the upside. Euros. Well, you're finally getting that single trade more to the downside. This one, you're getting this. So it's going to be a drop. We'll probably break all these lows, right? And then we're going to complete this. So we will end up with this, go back with what we had originally, which is this is becoming a big running flat. This here, this would have been a big flat. This here is a big flat. To go with that as a big flat. And this is just a 1, 2, 3 pullback, maybe an expanding flat in here. We could make an argument for an expanding flat here. Expanding running flat. So you got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 1, 2, 3. You got this is small, so this could probably drop here, break this low, and then we're totally going up. Right? There's no question about that. So we can pull this bigger one here. This is going to give you one more drop. Just about this level. And then I'm expecting this to go back up. Right? We're still in this big sideways, and that's a big flat at the top there, right? Now, can this actually drop through the bottom? It can, right? We literally know it can drop through the bottom, but there are many reasons in it why we don't think it will drop through, right? So if you take the sell, all you have to do is manage it. Do we have enough to manage it when we take the sell? So go back to the 1 hour. If we sell this, if we take the sell somewhere under the low, let's say this tags us. If it starts to come down slowly, that's a blessing. You will get out for break even and you'll be happy about it. If it drops really fast, that's a blessing. Take your profit and leave it, wait for the next flag. So what if it tags and start to pull back slowly? I think you can get break even out of it, right? So the whole idea is to get this one. I'll just put it like this. You'll literally get this and then upside, right? So we'll assume that this is going to come, break the low here, and then go back up. It could drop, but we don't have any reasons to believe that it wouldn't go up one more, right? There's enough reasons to believe that one more is possible. So this is a sell. You can put that sell entry, Euro-Yen. It's possibly going to be a sell, but the sell is not ready, so we'll stay away from this. Just leave it. Let's see what this whole thing is doing. I don't think this here is the contract running flat, and this is making a top, but we will see. We definitely don't have a buy in it. Euro pound. It was a sell in the making. You shouldn't have kept this, but if you kept it, I hope you close it there. You shouldn't keep it because you would have seen that we didn't get this one. The point was that this was going to go up here, make a flat, and then this entry here would have been good. But if it tags when you pull back on the stage, I close the trade. Because this is going up now, we're going to have a running flat, and it's still a sell. So I'll put the sell here. We wait for this to be a running flat. There's a flag in here. You can see that there's a flat in there, a smaller one. There's a small one in here. There's a small one here. Let this go up some more. We're not buying it. We'll assume that that's a running flat, and we'll wait for the drop. So it's still a sell setup under the low. We'll see if we get a better deal, but we'll put it to a sell now, from a sell in the making to a sell. Pound Swiss. Yeah, it's probably still a sell, but we wouldn't get it. And it has one more up first. I do believe this looks like a flat here. So this will probably go break the top, maybe even something like this, and then come down. So you wait for this, we'll probably sell it from somewhere here, wait for that drop, break the low, and then upside. Right? We're in a bigger daily structure. Once it breaks that low, I think we're going back up, right? This is pretty much kind of telling us that they're going to go back up. I don't think this one is going to drop to the bottom here. It could. I don't think it will, because it's really, really slow. Most of the down moves are sharp, right? This one did start low. If we break that up, that would be more of a running flat. This would be the top. So we'll wait for that. Let's see. If it comes down low, it comes down low. The sell is a good idea, right? We just don't have the best entry. We'll have to wait for a better entry from the top. Once we break this top, we can look for a better entry in the 50 minutes from the top. Pound Oz, yeah, we'll stay away from it. It's doing exactly what we wanted it to do, which is you finish this, you went up there, you're coming back down, perfect. We have to go back up and come back down, right? So I think at some point, if we start to go back up, we'll buy. And it is a chance it's going to come back down. We can sell and we'll definitely buy again. So at this point, just wait for your buy setup now, because the buy is likely going to happen. Pound yen. Okay, we'll stay away from this, take that off. That's not a buy you want. Then this is most likely making a sell. So we can be stopped here for a while. Because if this ends up being a sell and you drop to this level, then this becomes a flat. We go back up, we drop again, this becomes a flat. We go back up, maybe then we drop totally, right? The big picture is possible. Look at it daily. Right, if all of that consolidation happens here, and it's all consolidating here, right? If this happens where they drop, they go there, they drop here, go back up there, drop here, go back up there, you end up with a flat. And that's a drop. Right? So we'll just wait and see. Somewhere in here, there's a contracting flat. We'll figure that out. Somewhere there's a contract, because this is already building its own structure. So we just wait and see, right? If this is a flat that is going to drop totally, wait for a sell setup, not this sell setup. We want the sell setup, but not that one. So we wait for the sell setup, take this off. And it's a sell, we'll take it off. I'll put a sell in the making. Come on. Yeah, we're waiting for the sell setup. Pound CAD. It's kind of breaking out, but we can't be sure that that is the one that breaks out. Wait for a flag under the structure. An entry here is a little too late entry. If you put an entry, it will be way too late. So let this break out and make a flag, and then we'll trade that flag down. Could it be this was the flat? If you look at it this way, let's say this was the flat, right? You kind of get 1, 2, 3. This is coming down, but it's not that good. Put in the 1 hour, sorry, let's see. Yeah, if you go with that as a flat, and this is the top, this is coming down, but not the way you expect it to come down. So we'd have to let this go back up, complete that flat. You can look for this straight down, but then there's a good chance it will do this. And then that down. So we could still look for sells from here and sells from there if we get them. Right, those are sells that we'll have to have. If this drop more, wait for it to break out, make a better flag, and then we sell. Pound New Zealand. Okay, it didn't break out, take that off. We're expecting it to break out. It's coming back down. Are we trying to break out of the structure itself? Remember what I said, if this is some kind of a leading diagonal coming, we need a flat, not just one sharp move up. So this would have to come here and go back up like that. And if this becomes a flat, then this becomes a sell. Right, so we wait for that flat. If it becomes a flat, then it's confirming downside from there. Right, we don't have a flat as such. That is why there's a high probability of this going back to the top there first and then dropping. But like I said, if you make a flat, if that's a leading diagonal, let it make a flat here, and then we look for this sell. So it's a sell. The bigger structure is a sell. The 1 hour is not giving us the entries yet. I would not sell this right to the bottom here. So because this is just a sharp pullback, that's not the flat itself. So let's wait some more and see. Aussie yen. Well, we'll go with the contracting flat inside any flag you can take for a buy. Because if this is the two ways this pattern could develop. 1, 2, 3 is all the correction and this takes off. That's one way. Second one is we're literally making a flat in here. So you get 1, 2, 3, you get 1, 2, 3, you get 1, 2, 3. Right? Can we literally be making a flat in there in the 4 hour? I think so. If you think that's all the correction in the 4 hour, good, it will go. If you don't think that's all the correction, if you think the corrections become like these, see? If you think the correction is going to look like 1, 2, 3, then this is only 1. This could be 2. We could come down back here for 3 and then go. Right? See this? All of them. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. High probability, right? So we look for the buy setup. We still have a lot to the top. Go back to the 4 hour. We can take this out. It's useless. What you want to know is where the top is, because we are going back towards the top. So there's a lot of trade to go there. Go on the 1 hour, wait for the flag buy. Every flag you get, you can buy. Aussie Swiss. Yep, every flag you get, you can buy because we're going back to this top here, right? Remember when this was breaking out here? It was breaking out here. I was like, we're not selling, we're looking for a buy. This was a good buy. I don't know if anybody got that, but wait for any buy setup here in the 1 hour to the upside. And this might break out or might come back here. Right? There's a good chance they're going to come back there because I'm looking at this as the most corrective here. That looks more good. There was a big correction here too. There's a big correction here too. The down waves are sharp. So we'll have to see how this go up and how it comes back down before it goes. Right? We see that Aussie yen could make a 3-wave structure. Aussie New Zealand. Okay, now you can put it under this one. If you still like the sell, put it under here. We don't have a bias yet, and I wouldn't probably be buying it at that point. If it's still upside, you've got to wait until it break out of this structure because buying in here is dangerous. At any point, it could drop. Right? Aussie CAD. You would close that trade a long time, call it a break-even trade, put an entry above the top. Can it break out now for a contracting flat? Yep. Can it come down one more and then go? Yes, both possible. So just leave it there. New Zealand Swiss. Okay, so we're going back to the top. The question is, where do we get the buy setup? Let it drop one more. This would be perfect if this thing actually comes back here one more and then go, completing this flat. That'd be perfect. But that would mean that we're still in the correction. It is only going to come to about this level and drop one more, if that happens, right? So it's not telling us that they're starting that big up move. It's telling us they're probably making a big correction in the middle. We have to wait for that. Buying exactly the top on this one is not a good idea. We still have the sharp pullback, so we have to wait for that. New Zealand CAD. Take this off. The chances are we're going down one more. Can we go down from this point? I don't think so. It could, but I don't think this is trying to go down. We're just trying to make a smaller correction here and then probably go. So let's wait for that. If we get that correction, all the New Zealand pairs are in this, kind of sideways move that don't have a setup for a trade as yet. New Zealand yen. This one is going up nicely. Let's see what's the bigger picture. It could go up more. That would be the daily structure. Actually, it could go up quite a lot more, depending on how you look at it. right? So that's an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse. We could be making some weird big flat here. Could we look at this eventually as a bigger running flat? No, I don't like that. I don't like this one to put a running flat. It wouldn't fit. It looks good, but it wouldn't fit. So we'll wait and see what this does. That's definitely more upside, right? You got a 1, 2, 3 down. You're getting a 1, 2, 3 up. Wait for a flag, buy it. Any one over flag would be a buy setup. Canadian. Take this off. It didn't drop. And the question, this is going up really slow. I think we should drop one more. I don't think we haven't broken this low. We broke this low, which could be a 1, 2, 3. And this could go back up, but until we get a really good flag, it's not worth buying, right? It's not worth the deal. So what we do is we wait until it could still drop one more and then go. So we wait for a really good setup for a buy. These small flags are not good ideas. This bigger one was a good idea. This small ones are not good ideas. So I'll take this off. That was an aggressive buy, I think, or waiting. No, that was a sell we were waiting for. Aggressive sell. We didn't get it. CAD Swiss. It's a sell. You can put the entry over here now. This could be a running flat, but don't worry about that. You'll manage the trade, right? This could be making a running flat here, but we'll manage the trade. So that is a sell setup. We'll keep it there. We can put that as a sell. Swiss yen. Still a buy. Put it here. And if it goes like this and it go break here and start to consolidate, again, you'll take it off. But there's a lot of divergence. So you have to be aware that this could just break the top and either reversed or still consolidate and go. We'll end up in a channel and then we'll look for that drop, right? Especially if the divergence stays there. So this buy is a high risk buy, actually. You should know that. I'll put it as a high risk buy because of the divergence and everything else. The high risk buy is that's a setup. The high risk buy is which one? This one. That's the high risk buy. And these were sell setups. You actually would have closed this trade and put your entry here, but you know, if you take it, same thing, right? Close the trade, put the entry lower, and it's still going. Where were we? Those were the sell, but it actually pulled back. So the sell would have been closed and the entry would have gone there. Wait, now you don't have any trade set up. You have to wait for a flag or something before you continue to sell. Take this off, and we'll wait for that sell. I'll just stop it. So we'll do 2 parts in the webinar because it's going to be too long. So I'll stop the recording here. And for the YouTube viewers, watch the second part. It'll be out.